The dynamic duo is back. Hey everyone, DC is releasing a new comic showcasing the early days of Batman and Robin fighting crime together. There's plenty of action with Batman and Robin falling into traps, explosions, Two-Face, and even the Batmobile climbing a building. Can you believe it? Issues 1 and 2 are already out, and it's time to dive into all the details of the story, so stick around until the end of the video. Welcome to Comic Chronicles. Batman and Robin, Year 1 has scripts by Mark Waid, art by Chris Samnee, and letters by Clayton Cowles and Chris Samnee in Issue 1, while in Issue 2, alongside the previously mentioned artists, Giovanni Liro is the colorist. As the title suggests, this new comic focuses on bringing a fresh perspective on the first year of the dynamic duo, where Bruce Wayne and young Dick Grayson must learn to work together while dealing with Two-Face. Only 2 issues have been released so far, and let me tell you, it's fantastic. If you're a fan of comics, animations, movies, series, anything about superheroes, you've got to subscribe to our channel. Hit that like button and subscribe to always get the latest news about heroes and stay in the loop with everything happening. I appreciate your subscription, thank you. The first issue kicks off at Wayne Manor, where Bruce and Alfred are discussing young Dick Grayson, who has just lost his parents in that tragic circus incident that I think everyone here is familiar with. Bruce expresses to Alfred how worried he is about the kid, and he doesn't even know how to help him since he has no experience as a father. But Alfred reassures him, saying that Bruce understands the boy's pain and anger like no one else. Young Grayson was studying Bruce's criminology book, but he quickly says he's bored and wants to hit the streets fighting crime. An interesting detail to note at the beginning is Bruce's concern for the kid. Moments where Bruce shows this, although they may seem common for those who have read the comics and know Batman stories well, may not be for others who think that Bruce doesn't care for the Robins and sees them merely as his soldiers. Of course, that narrative has appeared in various comics, but in most cases, Bruce Wayne has evolved as a character, starting his career in a darker and angrier way. However, with Robin's arrival, a bit of light enters his life. So, starting the comic with this detail is intriguing, in my opinion. Also, take a look at what Dick Grayson is wearing. It's quite similar to Robin's outfit from Batman, the animated series and the classic Batman '66 series. Continuing with the story, while the dynamic duo is in the Batmobile responding to the bat signal, Batman narrates that it's been 3 weeks since Dick lost his parents at the circus. And just like no one else, he understands that besides the trauma, you need to keep control and protect what's left of you inside because Gotham will turn you into something worse. On the roof of the GCPD, Batman surprises Gordon, who is startled and says, "Every gray hair has his name." Gordon thanks Batman for showing up, but before he can explain what's happening in the city, the Bat introduces his new partner to the police commissioner, Robin, the boy wonder. Gordon is outraged by this and scolds Batman for putting a kid in the middle of the war happening in Gotham streets, but Batman responds sarcastically that the war spares the young. The commissioner then tells Batman that Two-Face stole a secret file from the GCPD and he needs Batman to retrieve it without examining the file. The dynamic duo finds this action by Two-Face strange since he usually operates at a double angle, and this doesn't fit the bill. The heroes then hit the streets in the Batmobile to investigate, until a Two-Face informant tries to hit the Batmobile with a grenade, but nothing happens. Soon after, we have that iconic scene of the Batmobile driving up a building vertically, reminiscent of the classic scene from Batman Forever. Batman and Robin try to catch the thug, but Robin gets briefly distracted by Batman, giving the informant time to grab his weapon to shoot at him. However, the kid uses his bulletproof cape to defend himself. The thug escapes, and the duo ends up arguing about not working as a team. Next, at Two-Face hideout, Batman and Robin show up to apprehend Harvey Dent and his thugs, but Robin underestimates the villain, leading both Robin and Batman to fall into Two-Face's trap. They step onto a floor of pressure mines, and if they lift their feet off the ground, the bombs will explode. Batman tries to buy time to think of a plan while conversing with the villain, asking him why he has strayed from his usual pattern of operation since he only stole 1 file from the police. Harvey, in an ironic tone, questions the Bat if he's sure it was just 1 file. Robin asks Batman why the villain doesn't just kill them, but the Dark Knight replies that inside Two-Face, there's a good man trying to break free. Batman tries to coax Harvey into revealing what's in the file he stole by tossing his coin, and the villain explains that everything he's done was to survive in this line of work because a new boss has been moving into town with plans to start a war against Batman. Gotham is about to become even more dangerous for the Caped Crusader. Despite having said that, Two-Face refuses to reveal who the new crime boss is and leaves with his thugs. Batman then instructs Robin to follow their movements so they can both get out alive. They maintain pressure on the floor with batarangs and quickly lift off the ground using their grapple guns. At first, Robin believed that the whole bomb story was just a bluff from the villain, but soon after, the bombs explode. Batman tells Robin to never underestimate villains, and the two return to the Batcave afterward. Meanwhile, at Gotham Airport, a general named Grimaldi and his father arrive in the city with the goal of challenging Batman. He orders his men to take out the crew that accompanied them. Now, moving on to issue 2, the story begins at Gotham's Child Protective Services. A woman named Laura is responsible for visiting Wayne Manor to check if Richard Grayson is being properly cared for by Bruce Wayne. Her staff doubts it and even make a bet among themselves on how long it would take for Bruce to lose custody of young Grayson, but Laura reprimands them for this and heads to the manor for her inspection. The funny part of this moment is that she ends up saying she hopes the Playboy isn't putting the kid in any danger, and the scene quickly cuts to the Batcave, where Bruce and Alfred are shooting rubber bullets at Robin as a training exercise. Dick Grayson proves to be skilled in his training, but Bruce isn't happy with how the kid handles situations, acting all full of himself. Robin gets irritated and storms out of the Batcave, while Alfred alerts Bruce that they'll have a visitor that morning. Moments later, the social worker arrives at Wayne Manor, and Bruce tells her that Dick is being well cared for. Plus, the kid helps out with volunteer work around Gotham, while Bruce is helping him channel his anger into productive activities. She appears slightly worried that Bruce has custody of the kid due to his reputation as a billionaire playboy, but Wayne assures her that he takes this very seriously, and she can trust his word, as he has also experienced the same trauma as the boy. Bruce then leads the social worker to a room and assures her that there's no risk to Dick Grayson and Wayne Manor, and besides, he's waiting for her behind the door. As she enters, she finds young Grayson doing acrobatics on the ceiling chandeliers, leaving her in shock while Bruce has this irritated look on his face. This scene is hilarious. She asks Bruce if this is a common occurrence, but Wayne replies that he's just as surprised as she is. The inspection wraps up with Bruce and Dick agreeing to the conditions set, and as she leaves, social worker Laura Liss tells Alfred that she'll conduct further visits, but not all of them will be announced. The story cuts back to General Grimaldi, who had appeared at the end of the first issue, dining in his office while talking with his father seated beside him. Soon after, Two-Face appears and proposes that they work together. He knows about the general's military background, his disgraceful discharge, and empire in Miami, as well as his interest in growing power in Gotham. Despite the iron hold exerted over the city by 5 families, Harry states that the general is someone who knows a lot, but he knows even more and wants to make a proposal. The deal consists of Two-Face handing over the police file he stole, which will be very useful to the general, in exchange for being named his second-in-command. General Grimaldi isn't intimidated and tells Harvey he'll consider the offer. Back to Batman and Robin, the dynamic duo arrives in a cave with the Batboat. The Boy Wonder asks Batman how many caves he has since they just left the Batcave. Batman answers that he only has one and tells the kid he's thinking too small, as there's a reason bats are so prolific in Gotham. Few people are aware of the vast network of largely unexplored caves. In a sense, the Batcave is not just beneath the manor, but under the entire city. I have to admit I love the panel on this page showing the entire network of caves beneath Gotham, which when you think about it, allows Batman to make quick trips to specific points in the city. I found that pretty cool. They end up exiting into an abandoned building, with Batman concluding his explanation by saying that the Batmobile is useful, but so is a budget for abandoned real estate. Condemned buildings are bought by Wayne's shell companies, giving Batman the possibility to appear out of the shadows. Batman tells Robin that they're acting on a tip from an informant about the Maronis pulling an arson job. He adds that he'd rather maintain a low profile, and for that, Robin would need to follow his orders. Meanwhile, in a truck, Maroni's thugs are ready to set the Falcone's meth lab on fire, but one of the thugs accidentally sets fire to his colleagues, and the truck crashes into a neighborhood, consequently igniting one of the buildings there. Batman saves the driver, and the people from the building manage to escape, but 2 kids get trapped in the fire. Robin notices this when he sees bikes outside but no kids. The Boy Wonder then rushes into the burning building and finds the kids. Batman, who is outside, starts to worry about the kids' delay. Inside, Robin gives his cape to the children to protect them and begins to act to get them out. The building explodes, and Batman becomes even more worried, but Robin emerges through the door with the kids safe and sound. Robin thanks Batman for the cape and tells the Bat to admit he got scared with what happened. Batman says he would have pulled him out, but Robin playfully calls him a liar. Once everyone is safe, the dynamic duo heads to the truck to investigate what happened, and they quickly discover all the thugs burned. Only one is still breathing, but there isn't enough time to save him. Before he dies, the burned man tells Batman that the one behind it was Tommy Moretti. Batman remarks that Tommy is actually a very loyal henchman, but the man insists that Tommy has gone insane and set everyone in the truck on fire, and while doing that, his face melted as if it were made of wax, leaving Batman and Robin pondering who this person could be. And that's where the issue ends. Batman and Robin, Year 1 started off very well. Mark Waid's scripts are easy reads, and they're so enjoyable that you finish the issues quickly because the story flows so well. I really like the dynamic that's being built in the relationship between Bruce and Dick, as they need to become partners to truly be the dynamic duo. But for that to happen, Batman must trust Robin, and Robin needs to follow Batman's instructions. Now we just have to wait for the next issues to find out who is behind the fire. I've seen some people commenting that it might be Clayface, but honestly, I'm doubtful it could be him, as it doesn't quite fit his style of operation. But who knows, it could really be Clayface, and like Two-Face, he too has been acting outside of his usual patterns for committing crimes. That would be interesting and makes me even more curious to learn about this new villain, General Grimaldi, since he arrived in Gotham with a bang and promises to be a significant threat to Gotham and Batman. In addition to the scripts, a large part of the credit for these issues goes to Chris Samnee's incredible artwork. I really love his art. If you want to know more details about this comic beyond the spoilers from this review, I recommend you check out Batman and Robin, Year 1. To buy it at a good price, click the links in the description of this video. I'm sure it will be a great read for you. Now I want to hear your thoughts. Did you enjoy Batman and Robin, Year 1? Do you think it's a strong start to the arc? What are your theories about the upcoming issues? Write in the comments. And so you don't miss the continuation of this story, click on that sphere appearing on your screen and subscribe to our channel, as I'll be bringing part 2 of this video soon. Also, I recommend watching our review of the new edition of Absolute Batman, covering all the details of the plot. Thank you very much, and see you next time.